guys, welcome to Learning to Live TV. I'm your host, April Hollingsworth. Today we're talking about learning to forgive. Forgiveness. Woo! It's a powerful word. I'm going to start off today by just sharing my strongest story of forgiveness. By now, you've probably heard my overall story, but if you're just tuning in, the Reader's Digest version is that I dated a guy for 6 years, and we even got engaged. I was beginning to plan a wedding, and then I found out that my beloved fiance cheated on me, and I broke it off. So my world was completely shaken up. I was a complete mess. I honestly just had to learn to live again, thus my blog name. So anyway, my strongest story of forgiveness actually doesn't start with him. It starts with her. It was actually easier for me to forgive him. Not the easiest, but easier. About 6 months after the incident, I felt way more at peace. I actually felt okay. Life was starting to move along and everything was pretty smooth sailing. I felt like I had forgiven him. But I always felt this bitterness towards her. And a few months shy of a year since the whole fiasco, I was working out of town and I saw her, the girl. The anxiety, the bitterness, the anger, all of it just rose out of the pit of my stomach and into my throat. I mean, it was just as real as the first day I found out about everything. And I knew then that I still had work to do on my heart. I not only had to forgive her, but I had to tell her I forgave her. So for the next 2 days, I battled God in my head and in my gut. And I knew God was telling me to go talk to her, and I was fighting him, saying things back to him like, "That mean girl," of course I used another harsh word, but "that mean girl can come over here and talk to me. I mean, why should I have to go talk to her?" Anyway, in the end, I knew what I had to do, and I started to see the perfect opportunity that God had given me to do it. So, without thinking too much, I took a breath. I located where exactly she was at work. I applied some lipstick, because duh, and my legs were walking. So I had no idea what I was going to say. But I knew that God would provide, and the minute I laid eyes on her, all of my nerves went completely away. It was weird. My heart was at peace, and I was completely calm. And I marched right up to her, and I asked her sweetly if we could step away and talk for a minute. She was shaking and had a nervous smile and said sure. So the minute we found a quiet place to talk, I could see the tears in her eyes before I even said a word. She was terrified, and I'm sure she was full of guilt and struggling. But I started the conversation by touching her arm and just expressing to her that I had no ill feelings towards her. I just wanted her to know that I had completely forgiven her. I thanked her for saving me from something that could have totally wrecked my life. She was shocked. She attempted to go into how she didn't know about me and how she felt used and lied to by him. And I just quickly stopped her, saying I honestly didn't need the details because I didn't. I was with this guy for 6 years and knew how charming, amazing, and how sweet a guy he was. But over those 6 years, I also learned what a beautiful liar he was. So she didn't need to explain anything to me because the details just didn't matter anymore. And there wasn't a whole lot more that was said that day. We both hugged and we agreed that God has a beautiful plan for us both. I will say that I did get a very genuine and honest feeling from her. I don't think that she's an intentional homewrecker like I once wanted to believe. I just think she's a beautiful woman who lost her footing in life for a short time, just like we all do at some point. And just like me, she was saved by God's great grace. So I can't express the weight that was lifted off of me that day. It was a weight that I did not even realize that I'd been carrying. And most people think that forgiveness takes two people, the forgiver and the person who's being forgiven. That's just not true. Reaping the benefits of forgiveness doesn't require anyone except for you. One of my favorite quotes, and I'm not even sure exactly who said this, but it says, "Forgiveness is like letting a prisoner free and finding out that that prisoner was you." See, I didn't do her a favor that day. I did myself a favor. And for the first time in almost 10 months, I felt like I could fully take a deep breath again. I hadn't even noticed the anxiety and the turmoil it was causing me because I just learned to live with it. And I wonder how many people have just learned to live like that. It's a terrible feeling. By forgiving, you're not telling the other person that the hurt that they caused you is okay. You're just simply choosing to love instead of hate. You're choosing to bring your soul peace instead of to live with the painful uneasiness. You're freeing yourself and releasing their grip over your life. Will it be easy? No way. Will it be worth it for your heart, your sanity, your peace of mind? Absolutely. So thanks, guys. We hope you enjoyed learning to forgive. If you have any questions or input or stories, we'd love to hear your personal learning to live stories. Please write to us and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and as always, subscribe to us on YouTube. And of course, we'll see you next week.